Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. Thanks so much for joining me today. I love that you're here. So the big elephant, the big secret in the room is this new granny square yarn from Yarnspirations from Red Heart that you don't have to have. You don't have to change colors. It changes colors by itself and there's no ends to tie in. Is it worth the hype? Is it really going to work for you? I don't know. So we're going to check it out today. I'm at my local Joann store and I'm checking out the granny square yarn. We're gonna go ahead and buy some and check it out at home. The only place that carries this granny square yarn is Joann's. It's not available at Michael's, can't get it on Amazon. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not a really big fan of big box, and I'm not a super big fan of using like acrylic, but I'm gonna give it a try because everyone's talking about it and I want to see how it works. So I ended up getting like 4 or 5 skeins. I'm gonna give it a try. We're going to take it home. We're gonna check it out. Got this one here. I got this blue, green, black one here. And I got this purple one here. And I got this other one that was kind of funky looking, that there wasn't a lot left of that one. Oh, I got one more too. I was just gonna try one skein, but you know, what the heck? So this is the Yarnspirations Red Heart Granny Square. Now, apparently the theme or the idea behind this is there's no color switching, you just keep on stitching. So we shall see if that's actually the case. I don't know if I have to do individual squares or like one really big one or what the deal is, but I have a feeling there's going to be some issues with gauge and the size of crochet hook that you use. So I don't know, stay tuned and we'll see. Oh, and you know, while I was at it, you know how I love my Lion's Brand mandala, and this was on clearance, so I got this one as well. What do you know? All right, let's head back home and let's try this stuff out. So it says it starts with the shortest color from the, so you have to pull from the center. That's something to know too. And you want to leave a 4-inch tail to weave in. Each color aligns with 1 round in the motif with 5 colors total. If too much color is left at the end of the motif, or the round rather, pull back some stitches and slightly loosen your gauge to rework the stitches and finish the color change. If too little color is left, pull back some stitches and slightly tighten the gauge to rework the stitches and finish out the color change. Okay, so that might be your little question right there. We're going to check this out. All right, so let's give this a try. So the first thing it recommends doing is you got to pull from the center. Then it says with the first color, you're going to chain 4, join with a slip stitch. Now, because it recommends using a 5.5 on the label, a 5.5 size crochet hook, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do exactly what it says. My fear is that if I use the wrong size crochet hook, it's going to give me a different gauge. 4, and then I'm just making a loop into that first. The next thing it wants me to do is to chain 6, 3 double crochets into this loop right in here, chain 3, 3 double crochets back into the loop again, and we just repeat this 3 times total. So there's 1 done here, and then 3 more times. So I've done 1. And I see I'm getting into my second color already. Chain 3, 3 double crochets, keeping my tension. This is my regular tension. Aha! So that's the first problem, is I'm already transitioning into my next color and I still have a single crochet or a double crochet left to do. All right, so I'm following this pattern to the letter, including the size hook that it asks for, the amount of stitches it asks for, and as I'm finishing up this first round, look what's happening. The yarn color is already starting to change, so I'm going to have to redo this. I'm going to go ahead and drop it down from the 5.5 hook to my 5mm hook and see if that's going to make a difference. So I'm going to have to undo this. So the pattern is calling that I do 3 double crochets, and I do 3 double crochets here in the end. Let's go ahead and then you chain 3. Oh, dude, it's happening again. All right, I'm going to take this all the way out to the very first row. So I did my chain 4 in a circle. Then you're supposed to chain 6. And then you're supposed to do 3 double crochets in the hole. There's my first 3 double crochets. Now the pattern tells me to do chain 3 and do 3 double crochets, and you're going to do that 3 times. So here's 1. I'm going to chain 3. 3 double crochets back into that hole. And I'm even really concentrating on keeping my tension tight. There's my 3, chain 3, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's my last. Here's what I have left before the color changes. And there's the color change again. Wah, wah, wah. We're starting from scratch, people. So I'm going to give myself a very short tail. Here we go. I'm going to go into that first stitch to form a ring. Slip stitch, not a single crochet. Now from here, it says to chain 6, 3 double crochets into the chain 3. All right, this is what I've got left, people. Let's see if we can make this work. 1, 2, 3. And there is the green again, the light green. Actually, what I could do is only do 2 double crochets and then slip stitch into the top of this one, making it the 3rd double crochet. There's 1. There's 4. All right, what does it say to do for the second row? Okay, join, slip stitch into the chain 3 space, 3 double crochets in the same chain 3 space. So basically we're just going around. Going into the next chain 3 space, I'm going to do a chain 1. So I'm doing 2 sets of 3 double crochets in each chain 1 space, or in each chain 3 space. So I'm going to chain 1, another 3 double crochets into that space, crochet, 3 double crochets, next chain 3 space, 3 more double crochets. All right, so on this next row here, on the second row, we're doing 3 double crochets with a chain 1, 3 double crochets into each chain 3 space. Then we chain 1 and go over to the next. So now we're just rounding up this row. I've got a little bit of my green left. So I did my chain 1, and I'm doing 3 double crochets into this next space. And now we're already getting into that next color. So let's check my work. Chain 6, coming off into the next row, chain 3 with a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Then we move on. Oh, that's right. Chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets. And so I'm barely making it here. Barely. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to do 2 here. Even still, it's not really jiving. It kind of is, but not really jiving. The colors, this is tough. This is tough, you guys. I'm not sure about. I'm sorry, guys. This is not working for me. I have worked this thing. I even stopped the camera. I've worked it like 4 or 5 times. It's not working for me. I'm sorry, Yarnspirations. I'm gonna have to give you a big old thumbs down on this guy here. So it's too much like hard work. This is so much harder than having to weave in the ends. Let me just put it out there, right? I did have to go down. It recommends a 5.0 millimeter hook. I had to go down to a 5. I couldn't get it to work with a 5.0. I had to keep undoing and redoing. I don't know. I mean, the colors are pretty. The yarn is like, meh, it's okay. you know, it's whatever. This one's sort of pretty. I'll keep this skein. It's too much. It's too much like her. I had to keep redoing and redoing. And here's the other thing. You have to be very specific to this pattern. So it's not like you can use this granny square yarn on any pattern. It has to be specific to this pattern, what is written inside here, which is your chain 3. Well, basically it's like 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and then chain 1, 3 double crochets all the way around. But it has to be specific to this. So you can't do corners, you can't do anything, and you can't do anything bigger than then I think it's 4 rounds. You can't do anything bigger than 5 rounds. So you couldn't use this to do one big, huge granny square blanket if you wanted to, because the colors were going to start changing, and it goes back to that, you know, like it starts with a little tiny bit of green and then a little bit more of the light and a little bit more of this. So you can't even do that. It's really, really limited in what you can do with this yarn. It's pretty, the colors are pretty. But it's going back to the store, except for this one, because I opened this one. But all of these guys here, so these are the other colors that they had. There was a couple others, like a black and white. This one was called Frigid. This is Frigid. And this is Amethyst, Frigid. This one reminded me of like a Cinco de Mayo. It's Green Scream. And this one is called Carnation Code. And the one that I've been working with is called Cyberleaf. So is it worth the hype? Because it's been sold out of a lot of stores and everybody's talking about this stuff. If you ask little old me, it's not. It's not worth the hype, y'all. Sorry. Just get yourself some pretty, and this is okay. It's 100% acrylic. I mean, maybe good for blankets, although they're showing it as a vest. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Get yourself some pretty yarn. Get yourself some pretty yarn and do yourself some granny squares. And do one big granny square or a bunch of little ones, but I'm going to pass on this stuff. Sorry. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. This is my review on the Granny Square All-in-One, or Granny All-in-One Square. No color switching, just keep on stitching. Too much like hard work. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. Stay tuned for more reviews, more tutorials, more podcasts. It's all right here. So like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications of every video that I post. Tell your friends about us. And as always, I'll see you soon.